Welcome to Team Call. Hi, Mia. Hi, Charity. Hi, Regina. Thanks for coming on time. I'm going to take up the full 30 minutes. I'm going to start with a training replay from Leadership Retreat that I'm really hoping is going to speak to all of you. And this is about the joy in the journey with Courtney Shepherd. She is incredible. When that is over, we have a couple of things to go over, and then we'll be done for today's team call. Okay, so I'll get that started. This is recorded for anyone who comes in late. And
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your diamond, Courtney Shepherd.
Can you guys see and hear that?
Hey, welcome everybody. Isn't Jessica amazing? Man, I could just sit and listen to her all day, especially because I had to talk next. All right, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about how we experience joy in your journey. And in order to do that, I want to kind of take you back in time with me for a little bit.
Right?
Is that okay? How many of you remember the day you said yes to doTERRA? Do you remember that day? Do you remember what you felt? Do you remember what your life was like? I'll never forget that day. Because at the time, my life, I was financially destroyed. I was so broke. I just remember thinking how incredible it would be just to live paycheck to paycheck because I was so negative. I had 3 little boys, 1, 2, and 3, and they were just crawling all over me and needing me every second of every day. We had just moved to a new town, and so I had no social life, which really doesn't matter because when you don't have any money, you can't go anywhere or do anything. And I could go on and on about the circumstances of my life at that time, but we'll just say it wasn't pretty, okay? Now, one of my good friends, Seth Risenmay, some of you may know him, called me up, yes, and he invited me to do this journey with him. And I said yes, because at the time, I needed financial healing. And on that day, May 20th, 2011, I became a wellness advocate. And it is by far one of the greatest days of my life. For the first time, I started to have hope that I could provide a better life for my children and that we could start to experience financial stability and healing. And I trusted him to be able to take me there. Now, I've come to realize that there's about 6 events that happen that create an enormous amount of joy in our journey, and I'm going to call that the joy cycle. So a week after I enrolled, I started my first class, and I'm enrolling people and I'm teaching them about the oils, and that's exciting. Do you guys remember your very first enrollment? Like, I'll never forget her. Yeah, I'm like, yes, this actually works. Somebody wanted to do this. And what was so interesting at the time is that I had no idea that while I was just teaching people about the products, that I would start to get an enormous amount of text messages and emails from people thanking me for introducing them to the oils because they changed their lives. And they would go on to tell some of the most incredible experiences of what the oils have done for them. The next thing that happens in the joy cycle is I committed my first leader, Julianne Ellis, a Blue Diamond on my team. Now that is a day you never forget, right? Your very first leader, because that means you're not in this journey alone anymore, right? You're not the only crazy one. You got people with you. That was awesome. And so then we both get into work and she's enrolling people and I'm enrolling people, and this joy cycle just keeps going and going. And then after that, we're getting more and more messages from people. And then we had even more people that decided they wanted to join us in the journey. Now, at that point, we start piling into cars, and you're going to events, leadership retreats, and convention, and we're doing shopping trips together, and we're raising our children together, and our relationships became so special. That brought a lot of joy to my life. Those relationships are so cherished for me and have carried me through some of the hardest times in my life. Now, after that, the next thing I started to experience was a financial gain. And I remember the very first paycheck that I got that actually covered my grocery budget for the month. Now, I know that probably sounds silly, but I was blown away. I thought, oh my gosh, this is really happening. This is changing my life. And I remember texting Seth and telling him, thank you. And I told him how much my check was, and I'm like, this covers my groceries. this is changing things. And I started to transform into this completely different person. And then as I'm going through that, guess who else is? I get to watch all of my leaders start to transform, right? Now, I almost didn't want to share this with you guys because we can talk about transformation all day long, but when you see it, it's when you really start to understand the joy that can take place in someone's life when you introduce them to doTERRA. This is me, 2011, my very first convention. I was broken in all the ways. And here I am today. I am a completely different person from the inside out. Everything about my life has changed. From the woman that I am, the skills and the talents that I developed, to the incredible life I've been able to provide for my sweet boys. And the joy that I've experienced in watching this happen to me and to continue to watch it happen to those in my organization is overwhelming. Now, this is pretty incredible transformation, right? But is it all joyful? Is the transformation always joyful or the journey always joyful? Have you had times where you experience discouragement or frustration or disappointment? That can happen, right? So what happens? We go from this place of feeling all of this joy and this incredible gratitude for where we're at to maybe feeling like, you know what? I'm done. I'm tired. What happens? Is it when someone told you they don't want to join you? Did you feel like you exhausted your names list? Did life happen? How many of you have been to that breaking point where you just think, I'm done, I need a break? Or maybe you've watched people on your team do that. Well, let me tell you the rest of my story, because I got to that point. I got to the point where life happened to me, and I took a big, long break from doTERRA, even after that transformation. I went through a divorce and heartache. I moved across the country to then marry my sweetheart now and went through this crazy identity crisis of who I am, and went from a family of 4, a single mom with 3 boys, to now a blended family of 8. It was hard. On top of that, one of my dear boys was struggling so bad to the point I wasn't sure how much longer he'd be on this earth with me. And I just stopped. I isolated myself, and I didn't rely on those relationships around me to lift me. So then I stopped enrolling, and I stopped building, and I completely disconnected from my team, from the company, from everything. And you know what happens when you do that? You stop feeling the joy. I became lost. My checks were going down. I didn't even know who I was anymore. And I'll tell you what's not joyful. Every day waking up and looking yourself in the mirror, hating that person staring back at you, knowing that I had failed my team, that I have failed my leaders, my customers, and my children. All of these emotions began to weigh on me, and I just thought, I cannot do this any longer. One of my favorite quotes is by Les Brown. He says, when life knocks you down, try to land on your back, because if you can get up, if you can look up, you can get up. Let your reasons get you back up. And that's where I was, lying flat on the ground, and staring back at me were my 5 reasons. My friend Seth, who never, ever gave up on me. I couldn't let him down anymore. To my leaders that said yes to me in the beginning and believed in me to help them reach their goals. I couldn't live with that anymore. And to my children, do you know how hard it is to convince your children to dream big and to chase their dreams when you are their biggest example and the biggest quitter in their life? To my higher power that blessed me with so many miracles along the way, and to corporate that has always been there and has made this world a better place. These reasons are the foundation for my joy, and I couldn't go any longer without any of them in my life. So I came back. January 2021, I decided it was time to reclaim my joy. Now, you know what happens when you take a big long break like I did? I went from being a solid organic diamond, set up for blue. In fact, I was only 7,000 OV away from blue diamond the day that I quit, to a silver. That's what happens. So I had to get back to work. So I set the goal. I'm going to be diamond again by December of 2021. So I started giving that goal a voice and telling people what I wanted to do. The next thing, I knew that I needed to get my support system in place. So I started getting my mentors and accountability partners in place and telling them what I wanted to do. And then I knew I needed to map it out. I needed to know, if I'm going to do this by December, how many leaders do I need to recruit? How much volume needs to increase each month? How many events? What's my ratios? I needed to know it all so that then I could get to work. And I did. I did my first class. I invited 50 people to my first class. How many of you invited 50 people to a class recently? That's a lot of work. I'm just saying. I got to work. Okay. Now, of those 50 people, I had 10 come, 10 people. 9 of them enrolled, and 1 of them committed to build. She's here today. So, yeah. So, do you know what happened at that point? My joy cycle, it's back. I'm in the game, and we're starting that all over again. So, we're working, and now it comes November. And the funny thing, when you start to get your mentors and support in place, is they want to hold you to your goals, right? So, by the second week of November, I get a phone call. Hey, did you know you're only 4,500 away from diamond? I'm like, yeah, that's 4,500. I'm feeling it. I know. I'm going to do it next month. That's when the goal is. I'm going to do it next month. And instead of just, them going along with it and being like, okay, she's not quite ready to accept this, they just kept pushing me. And they said, you know what? I actually believe in you. And I think you can hit it this month. And I thought, oh my gosh, maybe they're right. Maybe I really can do it this month. And so my mind started racing. And I started thinking about all the ways to try and make this possible. And I knew that my leaders needed to believe it the way that I did. And so I pick up the phone and I call Sam. I'm like, hey, are you ready? You ready to run with me? I think you can do it this month. I believe in you. And we just breathed belief in each other. Now, with a couple days left at the end of the month, on November 27th, I was feeling discouraged and defeated and frustrated. I was still 2,700 PV away, and I just thought, why did I do this to myself? I didn't even want to hit it till next month. You guys ever done that? You start second guessing yourself, like, man, why am I putting myself through this? And I texted Seth, and I told him where I was at the end of the day, and I just went to bed, and I just wanted to cry. And he said, Court, if you truly believe, if you just knew it was inevitable, it's going to happen, how would you act? And I went to bed thinking about that. And I thought, well, if I truly believed it, I would get up and I'd get to work. So that's what I did. By that afternoon, November 28, 2021, I reclaimed diamond. That was really special to me because it was 8 years ago on November 28th that I hit diamond for the very first time. And I hadn't been diamond since March of 2018. Do you guys know what it feels like to reclaim a rank after not hitting it for a hot while? It feels good. Like real good. Like your first time good. Like I just remember soaking in all the emotions and you're checking the back office and you're just waiting for it to refresh. I'm taking screenshots once it finally does and you text it to people. It was like the first time. Like it was so good. And I say that to you guys because I don't want you to ever underestimate the power of belief, to just breathe that belief into your leaders and make sure they never give up, not even till the last second. Now, there are 4 things that I do now to make sure that I always focus and continue in the joy in my business. The first is I keep a record. Anytime I get a text message or an email or something from someone expressing their gratitude, I put it in this binder so that anytime throughout my journey I start to feel discouraged or defeated, I can pull that out and I can be reminded of all the good of my efforts and what I'm doing. The next thing is we have to keep enrolling. Not only does that create a pipeline for our business, but it creates a joy pipeline for us to continue to receive those messages. The next thing is you have to stay in motion. Look, I know life happens. I've been there. I've done that. And can I tell you the biggest regret in my entire life is that I did not stay in motion during that time. There is something, at least one thing you can do every day to move your business forward. The last thing is that we must continue to nourish ourselves and our team. I want you guys to take a look at this tree. It's got these big, strong roots, right? It's green, beautiful branches and leaves. You would say that this is a healthy tree, right? And in order for that tree to continue to grow, it would need sunlight and water and all the basic needs. Now, is it possible if I were just to continue to give this tree sunlight and water that it would continue to grow and flourish like this? It's possible, right? But is it possible for it to die? It is. Oopsies. Can we go back one? It's called dieback, where the tree can die from the top down. It is important for us to understand what it means to nourish. It is possible to feed and not be nourished. And it's critical that through this journey that we figure out, how do we nourish ourselves? How do we nourish our team? And I'll tell you what I've learned is it comes from the heart. We need to make sure when we're reaching out and we're connecting with people in our lives that we're not just doing it to check off a box, or we're not just doing it because this is what someone told us to do, but that you genuinely care, that you are nourishing them. And I promise as you do that, that you will continue to have joy in your journey. Now, my last thing I want to share with you is an invitation. For those of you that have experienced a leader quitting on your team or someone feeling discouraged, can you do me a favor? Can you reach out to them? Remind them of why you're here and why you need them, and invite them to come back and experience the joy with you. One of the final moments when I decided to come back is one of my dear friends, Jody Ashford, called me as she was going through the most horrific time in her life that made all of my challenges seem like nothing. With tear-filled eyes, expressed her need and desire for me to be back to help her finish her goals. I was not about to let her down again. You have more power than what you think. You just need to let people know you need them. We need that. That is part of the nourishment. There is no other company, no other place, no other culture or opportunity like this where we can do so much good in the world all wrapped up in one package. I want you guys to stand firm, to rise up, be united, and continue to spread the joy throughout this world. Thank you, everybody.
I hope that spoke to you guys in whatever way you needed. Any takeaways from that anybody wants to share? I just feel like you guys, unless you're silver, you don't have the access to talks like these. And so I'm happy to share a few of them that really spoke to me with you all, that I think that we could all use and could all hear. So next week I have a recruiting video for us, which will be really exciting. So whatever takeaways you have from this video, I'm going to go over a few things, and then I'm hoping next week you'll be ready for recruiting new people to join you on this journey in this business. So with that said, I just wanted to share a little bit about something that's been happening with me. I'm like really trying not, I'm gonna hold it together. This business gives me a really big why. Just raising my kids at home. I took a little break because I had a baby. I wouldn't say that I completely shut my business, because I've been making sure I've been keeping up with my customers and all that. So maybe I haven't taken a break, or I haven't quit doTERRA like Courtney did. I probably will never quit doTERRA because it is so fulfilling. I just really want you guys to look at your business as a way to have light in your life, and a way to
when things are happening that are in your life that you can't control, this is one thing that you can, and something that can bring joy in your everyday. So I didn't do a lot of growth in my business, maybe in the last year, because I was pregnant and because I'm a baby, and I will never regret the time that I took with them. Last month, I got really motivated to grow my business again. One of the bigger goals that I have in doTERRA is to close doTERRA Founders. I'm almost there. I was about to start team calls again. I'm sure you guys probably saw an email from me. I was like, all right, we're going to start team calls soon. And something big happened in my family. I shut down for a couple of weeks. And I couldn't talk to anyone. I still have a really hard time. Last month, my daughter, I've shared with you guys before, that my daughter has a disease. Right, you guys remember I kind of shared that on a team call. So she has a disease. I've never mentioned it. I don't really want you to Google it because it's a little scary. But it's called neurofibromatosis 1. And it is something that allows tumors to grow in her body. So I'm trying not to look at you guys because it's making me more emotional. So she was diagnosed at 1 month old, and after that we push it on the side to give her the most normal life as possible. But last month something came to a head with her eyes, and so tumors can grow on your eye nerves, and she lost vision in one of her eyes. So we got an MRI, and her MRI confirmed that she has tumors on both eyes, both optic nerves. She already lost vision in one eye, and so we're trying to shrink the tumors, get rid of them, regain vision in the eye that she lost, and save the other eye so that we don't have a blind child. Lee is 2 years old, and she is now going through chemotherapy every week. So that's just what I've been dealing with as a mom. We've been dealing with as a family. And my friends and family have been dealing with supporting us in a small private circle so far this last month. I couldn't share sooner. I apologize. I couldn't really talk. So I just wanted to let you guys know that that's kind of what's been happening, and that some of the brightest times in my days has been supporting others with essential oils and enrolling people. Never stopped enrolling and helping people use natural solutions in their homes. I went to leadership retreat last week. I got to see Charity in real life, and Jamie and Britt, and we shared our experiences there on the Big Island. And I know you guys didn't know that I was going through that. But Paul and I have talked about where we want our business and how important Founders was, and I missed chemotherapy to be there. He sent me there with Gemma so that we could get fulfilled and close our Founders position. And so with that said, I came home really motivated and ready to close, to reach our goals, and to re-inspire all of you, and just know that no matter what is happening in life, this business can be a joy and can bring you a bright future. You know, building a business to support your family when whatever comes your way hits, you're able to still take care of them financially. And you get to build a business that's fulfilling in so many different ways. I'm doing a 3-month sprint to hopefully bring you guys along with me. I'm teaching classes in my home every Tuesday, starting next week at 5:30 p.m. As soon as I can have time, which is a struggle, to find time to create graphics, to get the word out and such. And so I'm telling you guys today that I am teaching classes, and that is for all of you and your customers. You do not need to wait on me to get the word out, but know that that is happening. So you can invite people, you can create your own graphics. Tuesdays at 5:30 at my house. Please don't give out my address unless you have an actual RSVP that they're coming with you. If you don't know my address, text me. You can text me whenever you are not bothering me. Like I said, this business brings me joy, and I want to see all of you succeed in your businesses. I want to see all of you come along with me on this journey. If you can't make the in-person classes or you don't live here, I hope that inspires you to start classes again in your home, starting back to basics, where I started my business teaching classes in my home, 3 classes every single month, right? 3 classes in my home every single month. And then I expanded to online. And then I expanded into social media later. So if you can't make that 5:30 p.m. in-person class, so you want to invite people to an online option, I'm also teaching classes on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Any questions on classes? Okay. Thanks, you guys. So here's the class information. It'll be called Natural Solutions for Your Home and Your Family. And these are Tuesdays at 5:30 in Honolulu is what I'm going to say. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. online on Zoom. And if they come to my house, if you guys come to my house for a class, we are basing this off of Natural Solutions for Our Home and Family instead of a basics oils class. And the reason why is I want to get people really excited about using natural solutions in general, and that doTERRA is the brand and the products that they want in their homes. So they can walk around my house and see the different oil stations and see how natural cleaning, what it looks like. And we can talk about why it's important. Sustainability, how we have one On Guard cleaner concentrate that makes 12 cleaner bottles, right? And we're not throwing away plastic bottles every time it's empty. We can look at the different oil stations and diffusers I have set up around, one in the kitchen, in the living room, in our bedrooms, what oils we have in the bathroom. So I want to offer that opportunity to you guys to not only engage your customers again, current customers are invited too, but to also bring in new customers. And one of the biggest things that I came away with from Leadership Retreat was connection and seeing people in real life. And people really need that right now. And so this is that opportunity for it. My family will actually be leaving the house. That way I can also keep Lee away, and I don't need to explain to every single person what's really happening in my life. But my family is going to do that so that we can have classes like this, because that's how important this business is and what the work that we do as a team is. So Tuesdays at 5:30, online at 8. I will have enrollment incentives if they enroll at these classes. But for the online ones, we're actually going to use a Diamond Club incentive from one of our Crossline sisters that have a Diamond Club promotion. And so we're going to talk story in our online classes about natural solutions for our home and our family. And then I'm going to play a 3-minute video
So everyone can get that class from Kanani and then get that Diamond Club promotion. Okay. I just want to kind of also mention that if you get people to host classes, there's a gather and give promotion. They can get free gifts, or you can get those free gifts. Okay. So I think these next 3 months are a big opportunity for all of us to be growing our business and all of us to connect back. I know that this year has been a little crazy, overwhelming. It could have been, I don't know for you guys, but for us, it was overwhelming. We're evolving. There's just so many things that are happening. I've been actually waiting for a time of like, all right, it's time to grow in my business. All right, people are ready for classes. Instead of waiting for that time, I'm creating that time, and I'm saying that it's happening right now. It is time for us to start connecting again. It's time for us to grow our businesses again. And I'm hoping that you guys are ready to jump on with me. Okay. April promotions. This month, our free oil is citronella. So remember that everyone needs to order 125 PV LRP order by the 15th of the month. Citronella wards off insects. It's great for deep cleaning your hair. It supports body cleansing. It soothes irritated skin. And it can clean all air and surfaces. Okay. Our 10% off oil is Terra Shield, and that repels insects for the most part. You can diffuse it. It says, don't forget the dogs. So I was like, I wasn't going to read that part, but I think that's cute. And then diffuse during the patio, dinners, and gatherings. Okay. Sorry. Thank you, Heather. Bye. Know that new members will get free shipping with their 100 PV enrollment orders. There's a few Mother's Day specials that just got released. And so I want you guys to see all that and make sure you're taking advantage of it and getting the word out. The doTERRA Malama blend is a huge one. There's more eyes coming onto Hawaii. And the fact that doTERRA believes in Hawaii, the reforestation, Iliahi, the distillery there, to create a blend, and they believe in the Hawaiian culture enough to create a blend is really cool to see. So the Malama blend is in stock while supplies last, and so are the Mother's Day specials. I make all my graphics in Canva, just so you know. I plan out all my stories. I grab these graphics from One Drop Designs, pop it in, download it to my phone, and I post them into my stories on my Instagram. I try not to take a lot of time on social media because posting on social media isn't growing my business, right? So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there and let you know this is a small part of my business. The rest of the time, I'm always contacting and inviting people, you guys. Okay, Myrrh Touch is new, Vetiver Touch is new, and then the Aroma Touch Technique kits along with an Aroma Touch training is now available. Our Mother's Day specials, please let me know if you have any questions on those. And I think, and then our Gather and Gift promo. So as we're growing our businesses this next few months, as we enroll, which we've all done this before, 3 to 4 new members with 100 PV orders, we're going to get a free Yarrow Palm serum. If we enroll 5 new members with a 100 PV order, we're going to get a Yarrow Palm serum and the exclusive Rose Glow Facial Mist. Is anyone excited about that? Okay. It's also a great way to help gain new builders, launch new builders, and then people to host classes and share. So someone hosts a class, they're a wellness advocate, they enroll other people, or they get all their people there, they enroll them, they get this gift set. So why not help others, you know, kind of launch your businesses, grow your business and grow their businesses too. Okay. So next week we are going to be doing, oh my God, I'm a mess. I'm so sorry. Next week we're going to be doing, I'm going to show a video from Leadership Retreat about recruiting and restarting, rebuilding our businesses. See? Thank you guys. You can text me. Yes, you can. And I will get back to you. Thank you for letting me share today. And I am excited to grow our businesses together these next few months. All right. Have a good day, you guys.
Thanks, Ash. Bye.
Thank you.